Good morning from Texas. I'm Isabel Maria. This is my first Ask Me Anything regarding dementia care. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're at. And if you're not tuning in now for the live broadcast, thank you for those who tune in later to my Facebook page or YouTube. It's first time doing Facebook Live, so I'm a little bit nervous. I got my little cheat sheet here to keep me on task, and that I hope I do you justice and answer your questions adequately. Before I go to the question for today, since this is my first really full-length video, I wanted to introduce myself, and I wanted to talk about what it is that I do and why I do it. So, my name is Isabel Maria. Yes, my last name is Maria. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, but I call Texas home now since about 2008. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, 15-year-old daughter, 12-year-old son. My mom still lives in Miami along with other family. I went to the University of South Florida, go Bulls. And I went to Norwich University where I got my master's in diplomacy, which is the study of conflict resolution and interpersonal relationships. I'm the owner and founder of Dementia Care Professionals. I work with anyone, anywhere in the country through Zoom, which if you're not familiar with Zoom, it's very much like Skype or FaceTime or any other video calls. So what I do is I do consulting. I am a facilitator for Circle of Support, and I do training workshops. So Positive Approach Consulting, what that is me working in partnership with you, with a family member or a few family members or caregiving staff from a facility or agency. And we work together in a partnership. So much like a good life coach or a good therapist, I don't tell you what to do. I listen, and then I give you tools and I give you knowledge to give you that aha moment to be able to find solutions, or not solutions, that's not the right word, find strategies to help with any challenges you might be facing with that person living with dementia. An example would be somebody that's living in a community that has suddenly started becoming disruptive during group activities. So we may go through things and talk things out, and I will ask you a series of questions, and I may ask you, is this person always been an introvert or an extrovert their whole life? Well, they're an introvert. Okay, they're an introvert. So do you think that they would do better in a group activity or one-on-one? So maybe this behavior is stemming from that, or stemming from a change in stages of dementia. It could be the environment. It could be something that they're doing before they go to that activity. So we delve deep into those things. I just listen and I give you the tools that you need to come up with these strategies. We check in a week or 2 later. You let me know how that goes, and we either continue with that or we move on to another challenge that you want to try to resolve and come up with strategies for. So that's a little bit about the consulting. The Circle of Support facilitation. So there's nothing out there for people living with dementia or families living with dementia as far as Circle of Support goes. But this, it's called person-centered planning. It's similar, has been around for decades. And what person-centered planning is, it is geared towards special needs. So really helping to empower individuals with special needs to be as independent and as successful as they can be. I researched different methods of this person-centered planning. I also collaborated with a friend of mine who runs a nonprofit organization locally called Awesome on the Spectrum. It's for adolescents and young adults on the autism spectrum. So she does these support networks. So what makes the Circle of Support a little bit different from the the person-centered support for people with special needs is that it's not just focusing on the person living with dementia, it's focusing on the close family that lives with that person, that are the ones taking care of that person, because a lot of this circle of support has to do with respite. So what I do is I meet with the family on the first meeting, and we discuss what their needs are, if there's certain days, certain times, what certain challenges are. I get to know them a little bit better. I get to know the person living with dementia a little bit better. And then we come up with their circle. Your first circle is the intimate circle. That is usually the spouse, the children, or the siblings of the person living with dementia. Then we go a little bit further out. The second circle are friendships. These are the people you would call in an emergency, aside from the close family. These are other close relatives or really close friends. The third circle is the participation circle. So what the participation circle is organizations like the Alzheimer's Association, Easter Seals, other relatives, other friends that are more acquaintances, even other organizations like church groups and school groups, volunteers, community volunteers. And then the last circle, the fourth circle, is called the exchange circle. And what that is who you pay to be in your circle of support. So that could be the caregiver, the home health person, the housekeeper, the staff where your family member living with dementia is currently at, the landscaper, anybody that contributes to assist either you with respite or take something off of your plate, or assist the person living with dementia. We meet. You give me these lists of volunteers, mainly for the second and third circle, the friendship and participation circle, and then I reach out to them. I explain what's going on, and I advocate for your family, and I ask for their volunteerism, and it's a commitment. It's a commitment for the life of the person living with dementia. So once we get that established, then we meet all together, the family members and your whole community, your whole circle of support, and we discuss things. And then in the end, I hand over the reins to a close family member or someone else who will be the facilitator to maintain the circle of support. So the maintenance is a challenge, but this works. It's been around for decades, and it just works if the circle works. So that is circle of support. And finally, I do trainings. I will start doing the trainings in April. The trainings are workshops. They are normal versus not normal aging to determine what if the person is going through cognitive changes, or if it's just normal aging. We all slow down. The GEM stages. So what the GEM stages are the stages of dementia, and with those stages come different physical as well as cognitive changes that occur. So we go through all the stages of the GEM levels, and what that means, what the characteristics of each of them are. And we do the positive physical approach and hand under hand, and I'll delve into that in a little bit, but it has to do with the positive approach to care, and it's how you approach somebody living with dementia, and techniques to make sure that they are at ease and to aid in the cooperation of them doing the things that need to get done. Finally, I do experience dementia, and I do that now. That's free, and what it is I have tools for sensory deprivation, goggles, gloves, and we go through a series either of tasks or I interact with you. And the purpose of this is for you to gain perspective of what the person living with dementia is going through, and to have a newfound compassion for them, because it's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes. So that's what Experience Dementia is about, to put you in the shoes of the person living with dementia, to give you that like I see why they startle when I approach them. They have limited vision or whatever the case may be. So why do I do what I do? I believe in it. I'm passionate about it. I have experienced firsthand that this positive approach to care, or PAC, does make a difference. My first job working directly with residents in a memory care community, we had 30 residents. All various types of dementias, all different stages of dementia, and it was overwhelming. It could be overwhelming for anybody. If people are overwhelmed by that one person with dementia, imagine 30. I loved it. I absolutely love working up there, and they taught us the positive physical approach and the hand under hand. So when I started using those methods consistently, I really saw a difference in how they reacted and interacted with me. So I absolutely believe in the positive approach to care. I've seen it work. My experience is with seniors, but also other special populations. I volunteered for 5 years at an equestrian therapy barn called Wings of Hope in Cleburne, Texas. And there I help people of various abilities and special needs from ages 3 to adulthood. And I loved it. And I love working with the neurodiverse. And I absolutely have a deep understanding and want to be an advocate for them. Because these people, anyone that's neurodiverse, they deserve our respect and they deserve to be treated with dignity. And we shouldn't forget that about them just because they're different or they're changing. And the PAC method is all about that. It's all about positive care, focusing on the positive, focusing on their abilities, as opposed to just always mourning the losses or having the expectation that they're going to meet your expectations. That's not going to happen. So it's changing that role of a caregiver where you're doing things to the person. We got to do this, we got to do that, we got to get through the day. And just changing that perspective, changing with the person, not having those expectations, but meeting them with where they are, with the abilities that they have, and becoming their care partner instead, and doing with them instead of to them. So all this positive approach to care was developed by who I call the guru of dementia care. Her name is Teepa Snow, Teepa Snow. She is, if you have not had the opportunity or you don't know anything about her, please Google her, watch her YouTube videos, go to her website. She is so knowledgeable. She is fascinating. I really encourage you to go see her in person if you have that opportunity. But her passion and her genuine caring for people living with dementia is infectious, and I feel it too. So that's a little bit about me, who I am, what I do, and why I do it. So I'm going to go to the Ask Me Anything. That is why we're here. And my question today comes from Pablo. Pablo lives in Wilton Manors, Florida. And his question is, what steps can someone get involved in to help stop dementia? Well, let me give you a little bit of a definition of dementia, because a lot of people think dementia is memory problems. And yeah, there could be some memory issues, but that really is a very limiting definition of dementia. What dementia is a disease that causes brain failure. The brain is actively dying. And dementia is also an umbrella term. There's over 90 different types of dementia out there. Alzheimer's obviously is the one that most people know, but there's many different kinds of dementia. They mostly affect the brain very similarly, but some do have different characteristics. Then there's 4 facts about dementia. Those 4 facts are, at any given time, 2 parts of the brain are dying. And it is a progressive and ever-changing disease, so that's why there are the stages of dementia. It is terminal, so the person lives with dementia for the rest of their life, but all life is terminal, right? And then, so finally, to kind of answer this question is, there is no stopping dementia because there are no cures yet. So that sounds a little sad, but there are ways to get involved to help us move towards that cure to stop dementia. One is getting involved with a nonprofit organization such as the Alzheimer's Association, and contributing, either donating money, contributing, participating in their walks, and advocating for these organizations. And as a matter of fact, here in Arlington, Mansfield, the Walk to End Alzheimer's is on November 7th. I've already started my team. My team is called Find the Joy. And why find the joy? Because if you use a positive approach to care, you will see that there is the possibility of finding those moments of joy with that person living with dementia. So if you want to join my team, I would love to have you on my team. It's Find the Joy. It's in the Arlington, Mansfield Walk to End Alzheimer's. But that is my way to giving back to one type of dementia and its research, so they can either figure out a drug or, study people's habits and find out certain lifestyles cause dementia and whatever it is that they find out, but whatever we can do to find that cure to stop dementia. There's also Facebook groups out there. So, aside from supporting research, there's resources out there for families living with dementia. Facebook groups are just dementia in general. There's Alzheimer's group, there's early onset, there's specific to that type of dementia. There's Lewy body, there's frontal temporal, there's people even on there that are looking or using CBD oil with the person living with dementia and seeing if that makes any difference and sharing their experiences. So you want to look into those resources on there. There's other organizations that offer support groups, respite, caregiver support, and that Easter Seals would be one of them. I know that they offer respite for family members, so if you go and do that circle of support, Easter Seals can be a part of that. Let me see. There's other nonprofits. There's other nonprofits like Alzheimer's. So if your family member has a specific type of dementia and you want to support research for that type of dementia, look into it, find that support group, donate money to them, or if they have things like fundraisers and walks, you can also volunteer, participate. Parkinson's does lead to a dementia in a lot of cases, so you can even support the Parkinson's, and they also have a walk. Other things you can do that it's not going to stop dementia, but it's someone who is diagnosed early on, change your lifestyle, have a healthier lifestyle, eat right, eat whole foods, eat organic if you can afford it, exercise and be social. Even if you're an introvert, you need to get out there, even if it's just one-on-one with your favorite person. Don't be isolated. Isolation definitely causes health and mental health declines in anybody. So, if you are diagnosed early with dementia, live that healthy lifestyle. That may be a possibility to delay the onset of or the progression of it. People in the early stages of dementia also advocate, so they are living with it and they accept it, and they are still able to go out there in the community and articulate what their experience is. And this is a great resource for family members or for other people that are early stages of dementia to kind of understand what's going on in their minds and what their experience is. So it's just that other opportunity to gain perspective and compassion. So while there is no way to stop it right now and there is no cure, like Teepa Snow says, until there is a cure, there is care. So I highly advocate this positive approach to care because of the dignified way, the compassion there is. I think that the way care is conducted now, especially at communities and nursing homes and caregivers at home health places, I think everyone's doing the best that they can with the tools that they have and the knowledge that they have. But this PAC method is truly revolutionary. It's a game changer in how people are treated and how they deserve to be treated. So I would look into PAC certified communities or PAC designated communities. You can find this out through Teepa Snow's website. I would look for other PAC certified, there's consultants, there's trainers, there are coaches, there's different types of certifications out there. There's advocates for the positive approach to care. So you can always research that and find people within that community. And educate yourselves if there are trainings out there. So, I hope there really is the answer is no. There is no way to stop dementia yet. But get involved and donate to that research or volunteer with those organizations that are trying to find a cure. So in closing, I wanted to say that next week, February 19th, there is a senior expo in Arlington, Texas, and I will have a booth there, and I would love to see you there if you're local. I will be raffling a brand new Kindle Fire 7, and I will also have my goggles and gloves there for you to experience dementia. So you can see what it is like in the shoes of someone living with dementia. I'll also be giving away some pins and postcards. So that is, again, February 19th. It's a Wednesday, and it runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come see me. My next Ask Me Anything is going to be on Thursday, February 27th, once again at 11 o'clock a.m. So ask away. Maybe your question is the one that I would choose to be the next question that I answer. Please visit my website. It's dementiacareprofessionals.com, and like and share this video. Like my Facebook page. It's also Dementia Care Professionals. Also, please, like I mentioned before, look up Teepa Snow, the guru of dementia care, the one who came up with this positive approach to care method. She is fascinating. You're going to love her. And that's all I got for today. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And remember, it takes a village throughout all stages in life. Thank you for tuning in.